Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came battling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
What's going on, everyone? Cody Johnson here with the Thin Blue Line Outdoors. It's going to be podcast 120. Like I said, 120. I know we've been a little lackadaisical on some of the podcasts, so apologize about that. We've been busy. It's been one heck of a Rubb vacation for me. So as I record this, my Rubb vacation is coming to an end. I work third shift, so I work tonight. But I got one more hunt left in me. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this podcast is all about recapping myself and the rest of the team's Rubb vacation. We're going to have more podcasts of in-depth about some of the team members' success. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. If you are new to the podcast or new to the channel, again, we are the Thin Blue Line Outdoors. Our number one goal is to get other first responders into the outdoors and then also help other first responders who are already spending time in the outdoors, help them maximize their opportunities or, success, however you measure success while they're in the outdoors. So that's our plan. That's our goal. That's our mission. And now let's get into the podcast. So, as you guys listen to this, it's going to be Wednesday the 19th, 2025, and we are almost halfway through the month of November. November is the time all of us deer hunters wait. We're so excited for when it gets here, and then unfortunately, even though it seems like it takes forever to get here, once it gets here, it goes by quick. And that's how I feel about my Rubb vacation too right now. I'm sad that I'm going back to work. I love my job, but obviously we love being outdoors, and I've gotten to spend a lot of times with friends and family over these last 2 weeks, and then also just spend it outside even if we're not successful. But let me recap the Rubb vacation. So my Rubb vacation started, the first day of hunting started November 3rd, which November 3rd was a very eventful day. So team member Garrett, also my brother-in-law, he went out November 3rd, and he has had a busy fall. He just had a second kid. Congrats to him. Gave me another niece, so super excited for that. But he was able to slip out after having his baby girl. So it was slip out and hunt the morning of November 3rd. Now, when it comes to our team members, Garrett probably had the biggest bucks to chase this fall. He had 3 good shooters, as he called, and then he had the one that was, probably 130, 140, another one that was a little over 150, and then another one that's even bigger than that. And anyway, the middle buck, the 150 buck, has been all over his farm. Here's the crazy thing about Garrett's only hunting 35 acres. So it's not like he's hunting a vast amount of property or anything like that. He's hunting 35 acres. But this buck definitely had made that 35 acres his home range. And he's been hunting this buck for at least 2 years, maybe even 3 years now. Again, he's going to be on the podcast and he can talk about it more. But, he thought he had a chance at this buck, and he slipped in the morning of November 3rd to go after him. Here's the thing, too. I was supposed to go with him, and I wish I did. I ended up having some good bucks on camera during my house, so I decided to hunt my house. Also had Ryan the Redcoat was supposed to be at my house about mid-morning to grab a spotting scope because he's chasing some mule deer. So, change of plans. I didn't go with him. Wish I did, because shortly into the morning hunt, right at first light, and mind you, before even first light, he could hear a buck groaning. And here comes this big, 150 plus buck out in front of him, and Garrett hammered him. He pulled back on his old Matthews, like Z7 or something like that. I might not even be the Z7 he'll talk about, but it's an old bow, older bow. Anyway, he let it have it, put that Rec HXP 2.0 right through the Boilermaker, and Garrett got all on film. The video's out right now, so if you're listening to this podcast and be like, ooh, I want to watch this hunt, video came out on Sunday, so definitely check it out. But Garrett smoked this buck. So anyway, he makes his phone calls, calls me, and says, hey, I want some help, and we get it on video and all that stuff, and by far, this is going to be and is Garrett's biggest buck. So I'm like, yep, I'm getting down. Let's go. So anyway, I get down. It's about a 40-minute drive from my house, maybe less. Drive there. So now we've given this buck hour and a half, 2 hours at least. So we're going to go in after him is my brother-in-law and then my father-in-law, his dad, Tim. Anyway, we get to the blood site. There's blood everywhere. Actually, one thing, Garrett's looking down at the blood trail. He's looking down, and I mean, the blood's easy enough to walk. Obviously, I'm trying to videotape and stuff. I can actually see farther than he can because I've got my head up looking. You can just see the trees and stuff. They're just painted with blood. He made a great shot, and then that wreck, like I said, man, it just tore that deer up. And I don't know if we even made it 100 yards, man. 100 yards, I would say, at the farthest. And it's actually pretty close to where his buck died last year. But anyway, we found the buck. The video itself, which that's with some of the recovering time, was 8 minutes on the blood trail. And I bet we found that deer within like 5 or 6. Awesome job, Garrett. Congrats. So far, as I record this podcast, that is the biggest buck for the team. It was, I don't remember the exact score on top of my head, but it was over 150. Definitely an absolute stud deer. And I can't wait to share that podcast from Garrett's angle, or that content, that podcast from Garrett's angle, and let him deep dive into that deer a little bit more. Stud of a deer. I know it's going to cost him some money. He's getting that shoulder mounted at Gray Line Taxidermy. So good for her and good for him. Again, stud deer. And he's still got another buck tag, and he's still got another big one he's chasing. So if he can get that buck, that's going to be phenomenal. Let alone there's at least 2 other ones he knows that he'd probably shoot. So again, hopefully he gets that buck. So then back to me. Focus on the rest of my Rupp vacation. We had some guys throughout end of October, early November. Got some more bucks. Matt and Brock got some bucks. Definitely helped our average against the Ridge Hunter guys. But we get to myself. I had some close calls with some bucks. I had a really old buck. He probably was only going to score around 140. Had an interaction with him. He was doing everything I wanted him to do. I got a really good rut spot that I usually save around that November 7th time frame. And luckily I got a good wind. I think it was on the 6th I was hunting it maybe. And sure enough, this buck was doing exactly what I wanted him to do. The only thing he didn't do is I needed him to stay on the trail he was. Would have gave me a 10-yard shot if I waited that long. But instead he veered off on another trail to my right, which I know they do that. I need to move my stand so I can shoot that trail, and I haven't done so yet. Shame on me. That'll be a fix I do this off season. But he did that trail, which they go past me about 40 yards then. Again, stud of 8-point, if I remember right. I don't think I got him on video. If I did, it was very, very little. Just stud buck, really, really old deer. Just looking at his muzzle, body, and all that, I would say 5+. I do not have pictures of this deer, so it would have been even better shooting a non-local buck. But definitely a big guy. Have not had any more pictures of him since, so hopefully he's still running around. Really, really, really great deer. So anyway, didn't see him. Hunted with Tennessee boy Jeremy then for a few days. Jeremy came up. We hunted my one of the other farms I have permission on. And, very first day was pretty lackadaisical. Farmer kept coming in and doing work on the field. He came in 4 different times on me that first day. And be honest with you, it was pretty aggravated. I don't get aggravated with farmers very often, but that one aggravated me. Again, that was not my home farmer. That's the permission piece I have. My farmer here that I have on my home farm, I got a great relationship with. But anyway, second day hunting with Jeremy. Jeremy got it done. Had him hunting one of the go-to spots I put a lot of our new guys at when I'm trying to get them their first deer or first buck or something like that. And I put him in that spot there. And right off the bat, he had a bigger buck. I don't know how big, but he said really good buck. Come by right at before shooting light. So obviously he didn't have a shot. Ran off. And then maybe 30 minutes into shooting light, he had a good 2.5-year-old buck come out, and he smoked him. It was his first ever Illinois whitetail. He makes a great shot. It died actually in this old dirt road that I can drive up to, so it made it awesome for drag out. It wasn't even drag out; just had to pull it up to the truck and lift it in. So that made it awesome, and it was great. Honestly, it was really great. Jeremy was a blast to hunt with. We met him at the Illinois Deer and Beer Fest this year, talking about bear hunting. One thing led to another, and he, made a trip up here in Illinois. And again, he shot a great buck, especially for his first Illinois whitetail. I think one thing he was surprised, and again, it makes me thankful, is, he couldn't get over how big the body was, especially for only a 2.5-year-old. And again, you get kind of dull and spoiled when you're here hunting these Midwest whitetail all the time. And I've been very fortunate. I've gotten to hunt these whitetail deer here in Illinois, my whole life. So you just don't realize what you got sometimes. So Jeremy was great to hunt with. He hunted with me for another day. He didn't have any action, unfortunately. I hunted one of my spots, and honestly, it's a really good spot. I hung it last year, and I had some really good interactions. I actually missed a good buck, probably 150 class buck that actually my dad ended up killing the next day. That was last year. So I knew I needed to do some trimming this last off season, and I failed to do so, and it cost me a shot. 100% cost me an opportunity. The stand was hot for a while. For those couple of days here, I saw a shooter out of that stand every single day. But I had one shooter come tending a doe. Doe comes by at 22 yards, if I remember right. Could have shot the doe. This buck's hanging up, and I need this buck. I pulled back on it, probably back for a minute. I needed this deer to take one more step because I had a stick right covering its vitals. Had my pin on it, just one more step. This buck, instead of taking that one step, kind of exploded from the brush to chase that doe right back into the brush, and I never got a shot at him. Not a huge buck, but definitely 4-year-old or better, about 130 class deer. Was going to shoot him, had me excited, had my heart racing. So, was excited, and it just didn't happen, and that was, again, lack of preparation on my part this off season. That's one thing my biggest takeaway from this Rupp vacation was my lack of preparation on the land, especially my home farm. But even on my permission piece, there's some stands I should have moved. I just should have taken the time this off season to really prep my stands and prep my land when it comes to my home farm. So that's one thing I will take as a learning lesson, and I will hopefully do better this off season. I know I already got a lot of plans, which I had a lot of plans last year and didn't do them. So hopefully we get that going. So anyway, I did not get a shot opportunity on that deer. And somewhere in the meantime of that, I did end up shooting a coyote. I believe that should be on film. I actually don't think I've checked the footage yet on that. But shot a coyote, didn't go recover it. He ran right into the thick stuff, and I just wanted a dead coyote. So shot a coyote. Anytime you get to take a coyote off the land, you do it. But go back to November 13th. November 13th, I filled a buck tag. At the time, when you guys watch the video, I think you'll understand. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for me. Well, number one, the deer wasn't the deer I thought it was. This deer had a really goofy brow time. And honestly, when I first saw it, I thought it was the buck from last year who's got a very similar split brow. Now, the buck last year was quite a bit bigger than this one. He was a 130, at least, maybe even 140. This buck is going to probably score around that 115, 120 range. And he's only, the buck I shot today, or that day, was only 3.5-year-old. So, anyway, this buck came from behind me, and this is a stand that I hung last year. Now, this stand I like. This stand, really, there's some stuff I could do to maybe enhance it a little bit better, but it's a pretty good spot. And mind you, I had already missed. I should take this back. I had actually already missed a 130, 140 class buck. And when I say miss, it's still my fault, but it wasn't like a true miss. Like I pulled the pin. So this big buck comes cruising. This is probably November 10th or 11th. Out of the same stand I'm talking about. This buck comes just running out, just out of nowhere, boom. As soon as I see him, he's already 50 or 40 yards. And he runs past me, actually. I get a camera on, boom, I go to pull back. And so he's right underneath me about, 10 yards. So as I'm coming down, my elbow hit, I believe, the camera arm. I think in the interview I said tree. Looking back, I'm pretty sure it was the camera arm. And that was just enough where I punched the thumb trigger release I have, because I didn't tuck my thumb back like I trained to do, like you should always do until you're ready to shoot. And I put that arrow right into the dirt, nowhere near that deer. That deer had no idea what was going on. Ended up running towards my dad, but then went back to the neighbors. So again, pretty upset with myself on that one because I made a a mental error essentially. I should have been dead deer. 100% should have been dead deer, and I screwed that up. So anyway, back to the buck I ended up killing. So same stand. No deer has done this. This deer came out right behind me, about 10 yards. Again, no deer has done this yet so far. This deer does that, comes right up behind me. I had a decoy out, and the decoy kind of hurt me in this situation because he saw the decoy. So if he kept walking on this trail, he would have been 15 yards. But he kind of veered out a little bit because he saw the decoy and didn't want to. He did not want to pop right up on the decoy. You just tell. I had only a few seconds to decide, do I want to shoot this deer? Again, I saw that slip up brow. I'm like, ooh, that might be that buck. I think it's that buck. I'm going to shoot this deer. My heart was racing. Now I was excited. This deer comes out. Thought it was 20, ended up being 25. Aim for the heart shot. Ended up hitting a little lower than I thought. He was quartering away, which I love that quartering away shot. Because I like to aim for that offside shoulder and take everything out. Well, I hit pretty close to where I was aiming, just lower. And right away, he hunched up almost like a gut shot, which there was a gut shot, but, it's still going through the heart and vital there, direction. He hunched up after the shot, and he hung out there at 63 yards. And I was going to shoot him again. I've been practicing all year, getting ready for this past caribou hunt that I did. Boom, 63, okay, getting the arrow ready. Well, he ends up moving off before I get an arrow knocked and shoot again. And I watched him go right to the field line and bed down. I probably watched that buck for about 30 minutes, get up, fall back down. He did that at least twice, maybe 3 times. I think it took him probably about 30 minutes to die. Maybe less, but definitely 30 minutes max, which is too long in my opinion. I felt bad. At that time I had gotten to see more of him, obviously, and I realized that wasn't the buck I thought it was. So, didn't shoot the buck I thought, and then made not the best shot. So I was kind of bittersweet about it. So I was upset on that, and I think it shows in the interview. I wasn't like, usually I get jacked up after shooting a buck. If you guys watch any of my footage from last year, when I shot my big one, I was pretty fired up. And obviously shooting some of the other big game animals I have, you guys see I get jacked up. So I was pretty upset with myself on that because I expect better of myself. And then, how it played out. Ended up being pleasantly surprised once I got my hands on him. He 15 points, scoreable points. I've never shot a buck with that many points, so that was cool. Just a goofy mess he was. So I'm still proud of him. My kids are pumped, and I'm going to get a Euro mount. Kids picked it out and all that, so it's at gray line right now. So again, kind of weird motions on that one still. I'm still proud of that buck. The wreck broadheads definitely saved me on that. The wide cutting diameter, it's almost a 3-inch cutting diameter. And once I gutted it, you could see it just ticked the heart a little bit, took out one lung, and maybe got a piece of the second lung, but it also went through the gut. So it tore up everything. The blood trail was great. The blood trail was absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, I didn't need it, but if I did need it, the blood trail was great. So all in all, I was very happy how my equipment performed. My HHA sight, nitric sight that I just got this year, I've killed now with it. I killed a caribou, a doe, and a buck. So not a bad season with it so far. I couldn't even tell you how many animals that the Hoyt has killed, and then with the dominant strand strings. So I've killed a lot of animals with that bow and that set of strings. So again, happy how my equipment formed out. I think the video is going to turn out good. You guys have not seen that yet. That'll be coming out here in a week or two. Depends how shotgun season is, how I play stuff. But I hope you guys will enjoy that video when it does come out. But yeah, that's my buck. Again, super proud of it. Weird emotions a little bit with that one, but still in with my Rubb vacation with I got on the board, So anyway, it is, again, November 16th as I record this podcast. I got one more hunt with me. I'll actually be hunting with my good buddy Caleb, who's another law enforcement officer. We've yet to get him his first deer, so hopefully tonight we can get him his first deer. Checked a bunch of cameras. I got a field where there's deer in daylight every evening and almost every morning. So we're going to go hunt that stand. He's not picky. buck or does all his. There's 2 big bucks that I'm chasing on that farm. I'm going to tell him ahead of time, hey, one of those step out. Sorry, bud. I'm up. But other than that, any other deer's his. Bunch of young bucks and stuff. So I'm hoping I can get him on a deer, and if one of those big ones step out, awesome. But it's still the lockdown. I hunted this morning, didn't see nothing. It was bad. Just a very slow hunt. Yeah, didn't see anything. So I pulled a bunch of cameras. Like I said, we're gonna hunt this field. Hopefully, have some luck. But still, the lockdown. If you find the does, you find the bucks. You gotta still obviously stay next to bedding areas if you want. You still might catch a buck cruising, but here you wait till I would say after Thanksgiving in particular, they're gonna start transitioning to more of back to feed, especially once we get into December. But that shift should start happening here soon, especially as you start getting does who have been bred. They're going to come out and to that field. So if you got either a good food plot they're hitting or bean field, corn field, whatever, definitely they're going to be starting making that transition soon. So just kind of depends what you want to do. We're kind of caught in that in-between area, in my opinion, right now. As you guys are listening to this, Illinois gun season's this coming weekend. A lot of deer are going to die this weekend. They always do. I'll be out. Me and my family were always out. I'm going to focus a lot on the kids this one. I've been pretty selfish the last couple of weeks. Obviously I've taken out some other people. But I'll be out gun hunting, hopefully having some luck. So yeah, I'll be gun hunting, get the 350 out, be hunting Friday evening, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So wish me luck on that. And then after that, hunting will be a little sparingly, not like it is. The big portion of my hunting's done. I'll sneak out when I can. I'm still third shift until the end of December anyway, so I'll sneak out in some evening hunts. I'll probably won't hunt mornings anymore unless towards the second gun season. I usually slip out on some mornings on that. But I usually, after my vacation and after shotgun season, I usually don't hunt mornings as hard. So morning can still work out for you, but I just seem to have better luck in the evenings, especially if you get a big high-pressure system and cold front coming in. That's obviously that's always good no matter what time of year. But it definitely seems like on my farm, the later it gets, it's either feast or famine. On this farm here, I might go a night where I see 20 deer and the next night I see nothing. It just kind of depends on where the deer are hitting at the time, food plot, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much podcast 120. I promise we're going to get better with these podcasts. As you guys have kind of alluded to here, I'll be going to day shift in January, so I'm hoping that will actually give us more time to focus on the brand and put more of this content out. And I got some series I think I'm going to put out that will be fun and also kind of help the first responders, the avid outdoorsmen that are first responders. And obviously, if you're not a first responder and you're listening to this podcast, I think you guys will take some, take away on some stuff too. I got some rotation series I want to do. We got a bunch of hunts still, so I just think we're going to focus a lot more on the educational side that will help first responders who want to be outside and maximize their time, but also anybody else who is looking to maximize their time. Now, I think we put the track record down that me and the team members, we know what we're doing, at least when it comes to killing deer. We know we're no Lee Lukowski or Lee Ellis or anybody like that putting down 200 inchers all the time. But we get on some good deer and definitely, kill whatever our expertise are. Obviously I'm big in big game and deer. It's my thing. But I got some good duck hunters and I got some really good coyote hunters. So, I think as you guys see that content, we kind of know what we're doing if that's whoever specializes in each. And I think we can help, again, people in general, especially first responders, and maximizing their opportunities when they get to hunt. So, I'm pretty fortunate. I was able to take a Rubb vacation, but I know a lot of you guys who may be listening to this podcast don't get that chance. You might only get a weekend, 2 days off, whatever that is. So how can we help you guys maximize that time and maximize your opportunity when you're outside? And sometimes maximizing your time isn't even so much success on killing an animal or seeing animals. A lot of times it might be taking your kiddos out or anything like that. I know last couple of days I've been able to take my kids out, and I've had a blast. We've had a little spike come around chasing some does in front of us, getting kind of in the kid's face, 5 yards away from us, and they had a blast. So the whole time they're like, shoot it. So that was fun. So yeah, that's kind of the plan going forward. We got a bunch of hunts coming up too. I know I'm sitting on several vlogs already that I need to get out, but I'm just kind of spacing out because we're getting to our slow period. But I know I still have Garrett's vlog came out on Sunday, so definitely check that out. Kyle just gave me all his footage from his October hunts. He had a lot of good hunts in October, and he actually edited this himself. Kyle's kind of our graphic designist and stuff, and he's got an editing background. He did a really good job on it, so you guys are going to get to see that footage still. I still have some footage from the Redcoat, and there's some other team members I'm waiting to get some footage from. So, again, a lot of content, and we haven't got to gun season yet, and I know deer are going to hit the ground. Usually we always kill a couple good ones during the Illinois gun season throughout the state of Illinois. I got team members all throughout the state, so should be good. Super excited. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Hope you guys enjoying all the vlogs that you're hearing right now. We have, again, a lot of content coming. Please do me a favor, like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow this channel. The more we can grow this channel, the more I can give back to the first responders and hopefully get them into the outdoors. I really want to maximize what I can do for other first responders, whether that's information we can provide, getting in the outdoors ourselves, anything like that. I'm just trying to maximize what I can do for others, first responders in general. So again, we got to stay together, even if the world wants to tear us first responders apart. Sometimes we got to take care of each other and stay together. So please like and subscribe. And other than that, be safe out there. Hope you guys all kill some big ones or whatever you want to kill, whatever success for you. But spend some family time, and yeah, be safe. Have a good one, guys. See ya.